I wake up to the sound of birds chirping outside our bedroom window. The morning sun filters through the curtains, casting a soft glow over the room. I glance over at Lisa, still asleep, her blonde hair spread across the pillow like a halo. For a moment, I feel a pang of love and tenderness, but it quickly fades, replaced by a gnawing sense of unease. Something has been off lately. Lisa has been distant, distracted. Our conversations have become stilted, filled with awkward silences. She used to laugh at my jokes, but now she barely smiles. I try to shake off the feeling, convincing myself it's just a rough patch. But deep down, I know something is wrong. I get up and head to the kitchen, the smell of freshly brewed coffee welcoming me. I pour myself a cup and sit at the table, scrolling through the news on my phone. The normalcy of the routine feels comforting, yet my mind is restless. I can't stop thinking about that strange text message I saw on Lisa's phone last week. "Can't wait to see you tonight," it had read, followed by a heart emoji. When I asked her about it, she brushed it off, saying it was a wrong number. But the doubt lingers. Later in the day, I head to work. The office is bustling as usual. Phones ringing, people chatting. I bury myself in paperwork, trying to focus. My best friend Tom swings by my desk, flashing his usual grin. "Hey man, up for some fishing this weekend?" he asks. I force a smile and nod. Tom has always been there for me, our friendship spanning over a decade. We've shared countless beers, secrets, and laughs, but lately even he seems different. Work drags on, my thoughts continually drifting back to Lisa. I decide to head home early. As I walk through the front door, I'm greeted by silence. Lisa's in the living room, engrossed in her laptop. I watch her for a moment, her fingers dancing over the keyboard, a slight smile playing on her lips. My heart clenches. What is she hiding? "Hey, hon," I say, trying to sound casual. She looks up, startled, and quickly closes her laptop. "Hi, you're home early," she replies, her voice strained. I shrug, pretending not to notice. "Just felt like spending some time with you." She smiles, but it doesn't reach her eyes. That night, we sit on the couch watching TV. I try to initiate a conversation, but her responses are curt, distracted. I reach for her hand, but she pulls away, feigning interest in the show. Frustration bubbles inside me. I head to bed, my mind racing. I can't keep ignoring this. I need to know the truth. As I lie there staring at the ceiling, a plan starts to form. I'll find out what's going on, no matter what it takes. I close my eyes, determination settling in. Everything seems ordinary now, but I know something will change soon. My life is about to take a turn I never saw coming. The next morning, I wake up with a sense of purpose. I need answers. Lisa is already up, the smell of bacon wafting through the house. I find her in the kitchen, humming softly as she cooks. For a moment, everything feels normal, but the memory of that text message cuts through the illusion. "Morning," I say, leaning against the counter. She looks up, smiles. "Morning, love. Breakfast will be ready soon." I nod, watching her closely. She moves with a grace that used to captivate me. Now it fills me with suspicion. After breakfast, I tell her I'm heading out to run some errands. Instead, I drive to a tech store and buy a small, discreet recording device. If Lisa is hiding something, I need proof. I spend the afternoon installing it in the living room, ensuring it's well hidden but able to capture everything. That evening, I pretend everything is normal. We eat dinner, watch TV. I try to act relaxed, but inside I'm a coil of tension. Every time Lisa's phone buzzes, my heart skips a beat. Is it him? Is she planning to see him tonight? Lisa heads to bed early, complaining of a headache. I stay up, waiting until I'm sure she's asleep. Then I retrieve the recording device and listen. My hands shake as I hear her on the phone, her voice soft and intimate. "I miss you too," she says, and my stomach churns. She mentions meeting up tomorrow night at the same motel as always. I barely sleep, my mind racing. I need to see it for myself. The next day, I call in sick to work. Lisa leaves and I follow her at a distance. She drives to the motel, just as she said. I park nearby and watch as she meets Tom, my best friend. They embrace, kiss. It feels like a knife to the gut. I sit in my car, seething as they disappear into a room. Minutes tick by, each one an eternity. I know what they're doing, and the thought makes me sick. but I also feel a strange, dark satisfaction. I was right. When they finally leave, I follow Tom. He drives to his house and I watch him go inside. I need to confront him, but not now. I need to plan. I head home, my mind a storm of thoughts. That night, I confront Lisa. I know about you and Tom, I say, my voice cold. She looks at me, her eyes wide with shock. What are you talking about? She stammers. I show her the recording. She pales, then flushes with anger. You spied on me, she yells. You betrayed me, I shout back. For 10 years, you've been lying to me. She tries to defend herself, but I don't want to hear it. I smash her phone against the wall, the screen shattering. We're done, I say, my voice shaking with rage. You and Tom are going to pay for this. I tie her to the radiator, making sure she can't escape. She screams, curses at me, but I ignore her. I need to focus on Tom. He's next. The next morning, I call Tom. Hey, man, I say, forcing a casual tone. Up for some fishing today? He sounds surprised, but agrees. We meet at the lake, the same spot we've gone to for years. As we prepare the boat, I feel a strange sense of calm. I know what I have to do. We row out to the middle of the lake, the water smooth and still. Tom chats about work, about the game last night. I barely hear him, my mind on what's coming next. When we reach the center, I stop rowing. Tom looks at me, puzzled. What's up? He asks. I take a deep breath, my hand closing around the hunting knife in my pocket. I know about you and Lisa, I say quietly. His face goes pale. What? No, you've got it wrong, he starts, but I cut him off. Don't lie to me. I followed you. I saw everything. His eyes widen in fear as I pull out the knife. You thought you were smart, I say, my voice shaking with fury. But I'm smarter. He tries to scramble away, but the boat rocks violently. I lunge at him, the knife slicing through the air. He screams as I stab him, again and again, blood splattering everywhere. His body thrashes, then goes still. I sit back, breathing hard, staring at his lifeless body. The water around us turns red. I feel a strange sense of satisfaction, mixed with horror. What have I done? I push his body overboard, watching it sink into the dark water. Then I row back to shore, my mind numb. I need to get rid of the evidence, cover my tracks. I clean the boat, disposing of the knife and my bloody clothes. When I get home, Lisa is still tied to the radiator. She looks at me, her eyes filled with fear and hatred. What did you do? She whispers. I don't answer, just untie her and push her toward the door. Get out, I say, and don't ever come back. She stumbles out, not looking back. I collapse on the couch, exhaustion washing over me. It's done. They're both out of my life. But at what cost? The next few days are a blur. I go through the motions, trying to act normal, but inside I'm a mess. I can't stop thinking about Tom, about what I did. The police come by, asking about his disappearance. I play dumb, pretending to be worried. It's not hard to fake. Part of me is genuinely scared. As the days turn into weeks, I start to relax. It seems like I've gotten away with it, but the guilt eats at me. I can't sleep, can't concentrate. I see Tom's face everywhere, hear his screams in my head. One night I get a call. It's Lisa. I'm not going to the police, she says, but you'll pay for what you did. She hangs up before I can respond. Her words haunt me. What does she mean? What is she planning? I try to move on, to rebuild my life, but the past keeps creeping back. Every time the phone rings, my heart skips a beat. Every knock on the door makes me jump. I'm always looking over my shoulder, waiting for the other shoe to drop. The trial date looms closer. I'm charged with Tom's murder, and the evidence is damning. Lisa testifies against me, her words cold and precise. She paints me as a jealous, unstable husband, driven to madness by her affair. The jury believes her. I'm convicted, sentenced to life in prison. As I sit in my cell, I reflect on everything that's happened. My life is ruined, my friends gone. I've lost everything, but deep down I know I did what I had to do. They thought they were smart, but I outsmarted them. In the end, I made them pay. The days in prison are long and monotonous. I try to keep my head down, avoid trouble. But the other inmates know about me, know what I did. Some respect me, others fear me. I don't care. I just want to survive. I receive letters from Lisa. At first, they're filled with anger and accusations. But over time, they change. She starts to express regret, then sorrow. She says she misses me, that she's sorry for everything. I don't respond. I can't. She's the reason I'm here. Months pass, then years. My hatred for Lisa fades, replaced by a numb acceptance. This is my life now. I make the best of it, finding solace in routine, in the small pleasures. A book, a conversation, a moment of quiet. One day I receive a visitor. It's Lisa. She looks different, older. Her eyes are sad, but there's a spark of hope. I'm trying to get you out, she says. I know it's too late for apologies, but I want to help. I don't know how to respond. Part of me wants to scream at her, to blame her for everything. But another part, a quieter part, is grateful. Maybe there's a chance for redemption for both of us. As she leaves, I feel a glimmer of hope. It's a long shot, but maybe, just maybe, there's a way out of this. I made them pay, but I'm the one who's paid the highest price. It's time to start thinking about the future, about what comes next. Lisa's visit lingers in my mind. Her promise to help me gnaws at my thoughts, sparking a glimmer of hope. I've been in this cell for too long, counting days like they're pennies. Maybe there's a chance to change everything. I start planning. First, I need to understand my situation better. I spend hours in the prison library reading about appeals, legal procedures, anything that might give me an edge. The more I learn, the clearer my path becomes. I need a good lawyer, someone who believes in my case. One day, Lisa sends me a letter with the contact details of a lawyer named Sarah Morgan. She's known for taking on tough cases and winning. I write to her, explaining my situation, my desperation. Weeks go by, and then I receive a response. Sarah agrees to meet me. In the visiting room, Sarah is professional, direct. I've reviewed your case, she says. There are inconsistencies that we can use, but it won't be easy. You need to be honest with me. I nod, feeling a mix of relief and apprehension. I tell her everything, from the affair to the murder, sparing no details. Sarah listens, her face unreadable. We have a lot to work with, she finally says. First, we need to prove that your actions were driven by extreme emotional distress. It's not a complete defense, but it might reduce your sentence. We start building the case. Sarah visits regularly, bringing stacks of legal documents, evidence to review. I spend hours recounting every detail, every conversation. It's exhausting, but it feels like progress. Lisa writes to me often now, her letters filled with remorse and updates on her life. She's moved to a new town, started a new job. She mentions seeing a therapist, trying to come to terms with everything. I read her letters feeling a strange mix of anger and pity. She's trying to make amends, but the damage is done. One night I receive a letter that shakes me. It's from Tom's wife, Angela. I know what you did, she writes. I want to help. Tom hurt me too, in ways you can't imagine. Her words are like a punch to the gut. I never considered how Tom's betrayal might have affected her. I write back cautiously. We exchange letters, each one revealing more about Tom's lies and manipulations. Angela's pain mirrors mine, a shared wound that starts to heal through our correspondence. She agrees to testify at my appeal, to paint a picture of the man Tom really was. The day of the appeal arrives. I'm escorted to the courtroom, the air thick with tension. Sarah is there, her presence a steadying force. Lisa and Angela sit in the audience, their faces a mix of hope and anxiety. The proceedings begin, and I feel the weight of every eye on me. Sarah presents our case with precision, highlighting the emotional turmoil I faced. Angela's testimony is powerful, her voice steady as she recounts Tom's infidelities and deceit. Lisa testifies too, her words filled with regret and sorrow. The prosecutor tries to tear our case apart, but Sarah holds firm. When it's my turn to speak, I take a deep breath. I'm not proud of what I did, I say, my voice shaking, but I was pushed to a breaking point. I've lost everything because of my actions. I asked for a chance to make things right, to find some semblance of redemption. The judge listens, his expression unreadable. The jury deliberates for hours, each minute stretching into eternity. Finally, they return. The verdict is read. My sentence is reduced, parole possible in 5 years. Relief floods through me, mingled with tears. It's not freedom, but it's a chance. Back in my cell, I reflect on the journey so far. The fight isn't over, but I can see a path forward. Lisa's letters continue, filled with updates and small tokens of her ongoing therapy sessions. She's healing, and in a strange way, it helps me heal too. Months pass, each one bringing me closer to parole. I focus on self-improvement, taking courses, participating in therapy sessions. Sarah visits regularly, updating me on the legal front. She's become more than a lawyer. She's a friend, a beacon of hope. One day I receive another visit from Lisa. She looks different, stronger. We sit across from each other, the silence heavy. I've been thinking a lot, she says finally, about us, about everything. I want to help you rebuild your life when you get out. Her words stir something in me. It's not forgiveness, not yet, but a step towards it. I appreciate that, I say, my voice rough. I don't know what the future holds, but I'm willing to try. We talk about the past, about the things we both did wrong. It's painful but necessary. The more we talk, the more I start to see a future beyond these walls. It's fragile, but it's there. The years pass slowly, but they pass. I keep my head down, stay out of trouble. Finally, the day of my parole hearing arrives. I stand before the board, my heart pounding. Sarah speaks on my behalf, her words clear and compelling. Lisa and Angela testify too, their support unwavering. The decision comes quickly. Parole granted. I'm free, but the world feels new and strange. Lisa is there to meet me, her smile tentative but genuine. We drive away from the prison, the future stretching out before us. Rebuilding isn't easy. There are setbacks, arguments, moments of doubt, but there are also moments of hope, of connection. Lisa and I start to heal, one day at a time. Angela stays in touch. Her letters are a reminder of the bond we formed through shared pain. I find a job, start to rebuild my life. It's hard work, but it's worth it. Each day brings new challenges, but also new opportunities. I stay in touch with Sarah, her guidance invaluable. She encourages me to keep pushing forward, to find meaning in the second chance I've been given. One evening, Lisa and I sit on the porch, watching the sunset. It's a quiet moment, filled with unspoken words. We've come a long way, she says softly. I nod, feeling a sense of peace. We have, I reply, and we're just getting started. The past will always be a part of me, a shadow that lingers, but I'm learning to live with it, to find light in the darkness. I'm not the same man I was, but that's okay. I've grown, changed, found strength I didn't know I had. Life isn't perfect, but it's real. And for the first time in a long time, I feel hopeful. The future is uncertain, but it's mine to shape. As the sun sets, I take Lisa's hand, ready to face whatever comes next. The trial looms in my memory, a turning point that brought me here. It's a reminder of the price we pay for our actions, but also the possibility of redemption. I've outsmarted them, made them pay, but in the end, it's not about revenge. It's about finding a way to move forward, to build something better from the ruins. I look at Lisa, seeing the same determination in her eyes. We've both been through hell, but we're still standing. Together, we can face whatever comes next. The road ahead is long, but we're ready to walk it, one step at a time. I wake up drenched in sweat, the nightmare still vivid in my mind. Tom's lifeless eyes haunt me, and I feel the weight of my actions pressing down on my chest. I roll out of bed, my body stiff from the tension. Today is the day of the trial, and I can't shake the feeling that everything hinges on what happens next. I head to the bathroom, splash cold water on my face, and stare at my reflection. Dark circles under my eyes, a haunted look that I barely recognize. I take a deep breath and try to steady my nerves. I need to be strong today. Lisa's waiting for me in the kitchen. She's made coffee, her way of showing support. She looks at me, concern etched on her face. Are you ready? She asks, her voice soft. I nod, though I'm not sure if I am. As ready as I'll ever be, I reply, taking a sip of the hot coffee. It burns my tongue, but the pain grounds me. The drive to the courthouse is silent. The city moves around us, people going about their lives, unaware of the turmoil inside me. Lisa reaches over and squeezes my hand. "We'll get through this," she says. I squeeze back, grateful for her support, even if I'm not sure I deserve it. Inside the courthouse, the atmosphere is tense. My lawyer, Sarah, is already there, going over her notes. She gives me a reassuring smile. "We've got this," she says, but I can see the strain in her eyes. She's put everything into this case, and now it's time to see if it pays off. The trial begins, the prosecutor laying out their case with brutal efficiency. They paint me as a cold-blooded killer, driven by jealousy and rage. My heart pounds as they present the evidence, each piece a nail in my coffin. I glance at the jury, trying to read their faces, but they remain impassive. Sarah takes the floor, her voice steady and commanding. She outlines my defense, focusing on the emotional torment I endured. She brings up the affair, the betrayal, painting a picture of a man pushed to his breaking point. She calls Lisa to the stand, and I hold my breath. Lisa's testimony is powerful. She speaks of our love, our life together, and the devastation of the affair. She admits her faults, her mistakes, and pleads for understanding. The jury listens, some nodding in sympathy. I can see the cracks forming in the prosecution's case. Angela takes the stand next. Her testimony is raw and emotional. She describes Tom's deceit, his manipulation, and how he destroyed her trust. She looks at me, tears in her eyes. "He was my husband, but he was a monster," she says, her voice breaking. The jury is visibly moved. Finally, it's my turn. I take a deep breath and walk to the stand. The room is silent, every eye on me. I speak from the heart, recounting the events that led to that fateful day. I don't sugarcoat it. I admit my rage, my despair, but also my regret. "I'm not proud of what I did," I say, my voice shaking, "but I was driven to the edge. I lost control." The cross-examination is brutal. The prosecutor tears into me, trying to break me down, but I hold firm, refusing to be baited. I answer their questions as honestly as I can, my eyes locked on the jury. I can only hope they see the truth in my words. The trial reaches its climax, the tension in the room palpable. The jury is sent to deliberate, and I feel like I'm on the edge of a precipice. Lisa and I sit in silence, waiting. Every minute feels like an eternity. Finally, the jury returns. The verdict is read. Guilty of manslaughter, but with extenuating circumstances. My sentence is reduced, parole possible in 2 years. Relief floods through me, mingled with a strange sense of sorrow. It's not freedom, but it's a step towards it. As I'm led out of the courtroom, I glance back at Lisa. She gives me a small, encouraging smile. "We'll get through this," I tell myself, one day at a time. Back in my cell, the weight of the trial lifts slightly. I have a future to look forward to, however uncertain. I throw myself into self-improvement, taking courses, reading voraciously. I participate in therapy sessions, confronting my demons. The days blend into weeks, each one bringing me closer to parole. Lisa visits regularly. Our conversations are tentative at first, but they grow more open, more honest. We talk about our future, about rebuilding our lives. She started a support group for spouses of inmates, finding purpose in helping others. Her strength amazes me. One night, she brings me a letter from Angela. She's found some peace, she writes, knowing Tom's true nature has been exposed. She thanks me for helping her see the truth, for giving her a chance to heal. Her words touch me deeply, a reminder that even in darkness, there can be light. As my parole date approaches, I feel a mix of hope and fear. I've changed in these years, grown, but I know the world outside will be a challenge. Lisa and I have plans, but reality is never as simple as dreams. The day finally comes. I'm released, stepping into the sunlight, free but not unburdened. Lisa is waiting, her smile brighter than the sun. We embrace, holding each other tightly. "Welcome home," she whispers. I nod, unable to speak, my throat tight with emotion. We drive away from the prison, the road ahead unknown, but filled with possibility. We talk about the future, about our plans. It's a long journey, but we're ready to face it together. Rebuilding our life is hard. There are moments of doubt, of pain, but also of joy. We find a small apartment, start fresh. I get a job, tentative steps back into the world. Lisa continues her support group, her strength a beacon for others. Our relationship is different now, built on a foundation of truth and shared struggle. We confront the past, the shadows that linger. Therapy helps, both individually and together. We learn to communicate, to understand each other's pain and fears. It's a slow process, but we make progress. One evening, we sit on our balcony, watching the city lights. Lisa leans against me, her warmth comforting. "We've come a long way," she says softly. I nod, feeling a deep sense of contentment. "And we've got a long way to go," I reply. "But we'll get there." The trial, the prison, the pain, they're all part of our story, but they don't define us. We're more than our past, more than our mistakes. We're survivors, fighters, and we have a future worth fighting for. As we sit together, I think about the road ahead. There will be challenges, but we'll face them together. The tension, the fear, the uncertainty, they're all part of the journey. But so is the hope, the love, the possibility of redemption. I've learned that life is a series of choices, of actions and consequences. I made mistakes, paid the price, but I also found a way forward. Lisa and I aren't perfect, but we're committed to each other, to our future. We've faced the climax of our story, the peak of tension. Now it's time to build, to heal, to grow. Together we'll navigate the path to resolution, one step at a time. And as the night deepens, I hold Lisa close, ready for whatever comes next. Life after prison is a daily challenge. The world has changed, and so have I. Every step feels tentative, every decision weighted with the potential for failure or success. Lisa and I are rebuilding, but it's not easy. The scars of the past are deep, and some days they ache more than others. My first priority is finding work. The job market is tough for someone with my record, but I'm determined. I apply everywhere, pounding the pavement, making calls. Rejection after rejection wears me down, but I refuse to give up. Finally, a small construction company takes a chance on me. It's hard, physical work, but it feels good to use my hands, to build something tangible. Lisa continues her work with the support group. She's become a pillar of strength for others, and I admire her resilience. We lean on each other, our bond growing stronger each day. We talk openly about our fears and hopes, something we never did before. It's a new kind of intimacy, raw and honest. One evening after a long day on the job site, I come home to find Lisa waiting with a smile. "I made dinner," she says, leading me to the kitchen. The table is set, candles flickering softly. It's a simple meal, but it feels like a celebration. "I wanted to thank you," she says as we sit down, "for everything." I reach across the table, taking her hand. "We're in this together," I reply. Her eyes soften, and we eat in comfortable silence, the warmth of the moment wrapping around us like a blanket. Our nights are filled with whispered conversations and shared dreams. The erotic tension between us, once fueled by secrecy and guilt, has transformed into something deeper. We explore each other with a renewed sense of discovery, finding pleasure in the smallest touches, the softest kisses. It's not just about the physical anymore. It's about connection, about healing. But not all days are easy. The past has a way of creeping back in, and there are moments when the weight of my actions feels unbearable. I wake up in cold sweats, Tom's face haunting my dreams. Lisa is always there, her presence a balm to my troubled mind. "We'll get through this," she whispers, holding me close, and I believe her. Sarah stays in touch, her support unwavering. She helps me navigate the legal complexities of my parole, ensuring I stay on the right path. We meet regularly, discussing my progress and any challenges I face. Her guidance is invaluable, a reminder that I'm not alone in this journey. Angela also remains a part of our lives. Her letters are a source of strength, her words filled with encouragement. She's found her own path to healing, and her journey inspires me. We meet occasionally, sharing stories and offering each other support. It's a strange but comforting friendship, born out of shared pain. As the months pass, I start to feel a sense of normalcy returning. I settle into my job, earning the respect of my coworkers. They know my story, but they judge me by my actions, not my past. It's a hard-earned acceptance, but it means the world to me. One day, as I'm packing up at the end of a shift, my boss calls me over. "You've been doing good work," he says. "I'm promoting you to team leader." The words take a moment to sink in, and when they do, a wave of emotion crashes over me. I thank him, struggling to keep my voice steady. It's a small victory, but it feels monumental. I rush home to tell Lisa the news. She's ecstatic, throwing her arms around me. "I'm so proud of you," she says, her eyes shining with happiness. We celebrate with a quiet dinner, toasting to our future with glasses of cheap wine. It's a perfect moment, a glimpse of the life we're building. But even as we move forward, the shadows of the past linger. One night, as we lie in bed, Lisa turns to me. "Do you ever think about him?" she asks, her voice barely above a whisper. I know she's talking about Tom. I nod, the memories rushing back. "Every day," I admit, "but I'm trying to let go." She nods, understanding. "We have to," she says, "for our own sake." I reach for her, pulling her close. We lie there, wrapped in each other's arms, finding solace in our shared resolve. As time goes on, we continue to face challenges. There are moments of doubt, of fear, but we face them together. We're learning to trust again, to find joy in the present. It's a slow process, but every step forward is a victory. One evening, we receive an invitation to a community event. It's a fundraiser for families affected by crime, and Lisa wants to go. I'm hesitant, afraid of the judgment we might face, but she convinces me, her determination infectious. The event is held at a local hall, the atmosphere warm and welcoming. We mingle with others, sharing stories and offering support. I meet people who have faced their own struggles, their resilience inspiring. For the first time, I feel a sense of belonging, of acceptance. As the night draws to a close, Lisa and I step outside for some air. The stars are bright, the cool night air refreshing. She looks at me, her eyes filled with hope. "We're going to be okay," she says, and for the first time, I believe it. The path to resolution is long and winding, but we're walking it together. We've faced the worst and come out the other side, stronger and more united. There are still obstacles to overcome, but I know we can handle them. Lisa and I continue to build our life, one day at a time. We find joy in the small things, the everyday moments that make up our existence. We laugh, we love, we live. It's not perfect, but it's ours. I stay committed to my job, working hard to prove myself. The promotion to team leader is just the beginning. I set my sights on further goals, driven by a newfound sense of purpose. Each achievement, no matter how small, is a step towards redemption. Lisa's work with the support group flourishes. She's become a beacon of hope for others, her story a testament to the power of resilience. I watch her with admiration, proud of the woman she's become. Our relationship deepens, built on a foundation of trust and honesty. The erotic tension between us is a constant undercurrent, a reminder of the connection we share. We explore each other with a passion that goes beyond the physical, finding new ways to express our love. There are still moments of darkness, memories that resurface, but we face them together. We talk openly, confronting our fears and insecurities. It's a continuous process of healing, but we're making progress. As the anniversary of the trial approaches, I feel a mix of emotions. It's a reminder of the turning point in our lives, the moment that set us on this path. We decide to mark the occasion with a quiet celebration, a way to acknowledge how far we've come. We spend the day together, reflecting on our journey. We visit the park where we used to go before everything fell apart, finding comfort in the familiar surroundings. We talk about our dreams for the future, the life we're building. That evening, as we sit on our balcony, Lisa takes my hand. "We've come so far," she says softly. I nod, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. "And we'll keep going," I reply, "together." The path to resolution is ongoing, but we're walking it with determination. We faced the worst, but we've also found strength we didn't know we had. The future is uncertain, but it's filled with possibility. As we sit together, I think about the road ahead. There will be challenges, but we're ready to face them. The tension, the fear, the uncertainty, they're all part of the journey. But so is the hope, the love, the possibility of redemption. I've learned that life is a series of choices, of actions, and consequences. I made mistakes, paid the price, but I also found a way forward. Lisa and I aren't perfect, but we're committed to each other, to our future. We've faced the peak of our conflict, and now we're finding our way to resolution. Together, we'll navigate the challenges ahead, one step at a time. And as the night deepens, I hold Lisa close, ready for whatever comes next. The morning of the final confrontation dawns clear and cold. I can feel the tension in the air as I get ready. Lisa's already up, her face set in determination. We haven't spoken much since last night, both of us knowing what's at stake today. The reckoning is here, and it's time to face it head on. We drive in silence to the courthouse. Every mile feels heavy with anticipation. I can see the strain in Lisa's eyes, the worry that gnaws at her. "We've got this," I say, trying to sound confident. She nods, her grip tightening on the steering wheel. "I know," she whispers, but her voice betrays her fear. Inside the courthouse, the atmosphere is thick with tension. The final hearing is about to start, and everyone knows it's the last chance to set things right. Sarah meets us at the entrance, her face serious but calm. "This is it," she says. "Stay strong." We walk into the courtroom, the eyes of the spectators following us. The prosecutor is already there, a smug look on his face. He thinks he's won, but he doesn't know what we have planned. Lisa and I sit down, her hand gripping mine tightly. The judge enters, and the room falls silent. The prosecutor starts with his final arguments, painting me as a dangerous man who acted out of pure jealousy. His words sting, but I stay focused. I know the truth, and soon the judge will too. Sarah stands up, her voice steady and clear. She lays out our case, emphasizing the emotional and psychological torment I endured. She speaks about the affair, the betrayal, and the mental breakdown that led to my actions. The judge listens intently, his expression unreadable. Lisa takes the stand first. Her testimony is heartfelt, raw. She talks about our life together, the love we shared, and the mistakes we made. She admits her faults, her role in the affair, and pleads for understanding. "He's not a monster," she says, her voice breaking. "He's a man who was pushed to the edge." Next is Angela. Her testimony is powerful, painting a picture of Tom that the court hasn't seen before. She talks about his manipulations, his deceit, and the pain he caused. "He wasn't the man you think he was," she says. "He drove us both to the brink." Finally, it's my turn. I stand up, my heart pounding in my chest. I speak about the betrayal, the anger, and the despair that consumed me. "I'm not proud of what I did," I say, my voice shaking. "But I was a broken man. I've paid the price for my actions, and I ask for a chance to rebuild my life." The judge deliberates, the room holding its breath. Finally, he speaks. "Given the circumstances and the testimonies presented, I find that the actions, while severe, were influenced by extreme emotional distress. The sentence will remain reduced, with parole in sight." Relief floods through me. It's not a full exoneration, but it's a victory. I turn to Lisa, who's crying tears of relief. We embrace, the weight of the trial lifting off our shoulders. We've faced the reckoning, and we've come out the other side. The weeks that follow are a blur of readjustment. The weight of the trial still lingers, but there's a new sense of hope. I continue to work, finding solace in the routine. Lisa and I focus on healing, both individually and together. Our relationship deepens, the shared trauma bringing us closer. We talk more openly than ever before, our conversations raw and unfiltered. The erotic tension between us is a constant undercurrent, a reminder of our connection. We explore each other with a renewed sense of intimacy, finding comfort in the physical expression of our love. One night, as we lie in bed, Lisa turns to me. "Do you think we'll ever truly be free of this?" she asks, her voice barely above a whisper. I think about it for a moment, then shake my head. "I don't know," I admit, "but we're stronger together." We'll face whatever comes side by side. The community around us starts to accept us back, slowly but surely. We attend local events, gradually integrating back into social circles. It's not easy, but we're determined. We've been through hell and back, and we're ready to rebuild our lives. One evening, we're invited to a dinner party by a couple from Lisa's support group. I'm hesitant, but Lisa insists. It's important, she says. We need to move forward. I agree, knowing she's right. The dinner is awkward at first, but as the night progresses, we start to relax. The conversation flows, and for the first time in a long time, I feel a sense of normalcy. We talk about our plans, our dreams, and it feels good to share them with others. As the evening winds down, Lisa and I step outside for some air. The night is cool, the stars bright above us. She leans against me, her warmth a comfort. We've come so far, she says softly. I nod, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. And we'll keep going, I reply. Together. The reckoning isn't just about the trial, it's about the long-term consequences. We've faced the hardest part, but the journey is far from over. Every day is a step forward, a step towards healing. We're learning to live with our past, to find strength in our shared experiences. I stay committed to my job, working hard to prove myself. The respect of my coworkers means the world to me, and I'm determined not to let them down. Each achievement, no matter how small, is a step towards redemption. Lisa's support group continues to grow, her influence spreading. She's a beacon of hope for others, her story a testament to the power of resilience. I watch her with admiration, proud of the woman she's become. We still have moments of doubt, of fear, but we face them together. We're learning to trust again, to find joy in the present. It's a slow process, but every step forward is a victory. The path to resolution is ongoing, but we're walking it with determination. We've faced the worst, but we've also found strength we didn't know we had. The future is uncertain, but it's filled with possibility. As we sit together one evening, watching the sunset from our balcony, I reflect on our journey. The trial, the prison, the pain, they're all part of our story. But they don't define us. We're more than our past, more than our mistakes. We're survivors, fighters, and we have a future worth fighting for. Lisa takes my hand, her touch grounding me. We've got this, she says. I nod, feeling a deep sense of peace. Yes, we do. The reckoning has passed, but the road ahead is still challenging. We're ready to face it, side by side. Together, we'll navigate the long-term consequences, finding strength in our love and resilience. As the night deepens, I hold Lisa close, ready for whatever comes next. The journey is far from over, but we're walking it together one step at a time. The future is ours to shape, and we're ready to face it hand in hand. Life feels different now, lighter. The trial, the struggles, they've all shaped us, but they don't define us. Lisa and I have built something strong from the ashes, a life worth living. Every morning I wake up next to her, grateful for this second chance. We've moved into a new apartment, a fresh start. The view from our balcony overlooks a park where families play and joggers pass by. It's peaceful, a reminder of the normalcy we've fought so hard to regain. I sit out there often, sipping coffee, thinking about how far we've come. One evening, Lisa joins me on the balcony, her hand slipping into mine. I got a call today, she says, her voice steady. They want me to speak at a conference, share our story. I look at her, seeing the resolve in her eyes. You should do it, I say. Our story can help others. She smiles, leaning her head on my shoulder. I couldn't do it without you, she whispers. Our days are filled with work and small joys. I've been promoted again, now managing a larger team. My colleagues respect me, and I take pride in my work. It feels good to be seen for who I am now, not who I was. Lisa's support group continues to thrive, her influence growing. She's become a beacon of hope for so many, and I'm proud of her every day. We still have our moments, shadows of the past creeping in, but we face them together, talking openly, confronting our fears. Our love is stronger, deeper, forged in the fires of our shared pain. The erotic tension between us remains, a constant reminder of our connection. We explore each other with a renewed sense of intimacy, finding comfort and pleasure in our togetherness. One night, after a particularly intense day, we make love slowly, passionately. It's not just about the physical act, but the emotional bond we share. Every touch, every kiss is a reaffirmation of our commitment to each other. We collapse into each other's arms, breathless, content. "I love you," she whispers, her breath warm against my skin. "I love you too," I reply, meaning it more than ever. Time passes, and the anniversary of the trial comes around again. We decide to mark it with a small celebration, a way to honor how far we've come. We invite friends and family, those who've supported us through it all. The house is filled with laughter, a stark contrast to the silence of the past. As the night winds down, I stand on the balcony looking out over the park. Lisa joins me, her presence a comfort. "We've made it," she says softly. I nod, feeling a deep sense of peace. "And we'll keep going," I reply. "Together." The future is still uncertain, but it's ours to shape. We've faced our demons, confronted our past, and come out stronger. There will be challenges ahead, but I know we can handle them. We've learned to find joy in the present, to build a future worth fighting for. As we sit together, the city lights twinkling below, I think about the journey, the trial, the prison, the pain. They're all part of our story. But they don't define us. We're more than our past, more than our mistakes. We're survivors, fighters, and we have a future filled with possibility. Lisa takes my hand, her touch grounding me. "We've got this," she says. I nod, feeling a deep sense of contentment. Yes, we do. The reckoning has passed, but the road ahead is still challenging. We're ready to face it, side by side. Together, we'll navigate the long-term consequences, finding strength in our love and resilience. As the night deepens, I hold Lisa close, ready for whatever comes next. The journey is far from over, but we're walking it together, one step at a time. The future is ours to shape, and we're ready to face it, hand in hand. The next morning, we wake up to a bright, sunny day. Lisa turns to me, a mischievous smile on her face. "Let's take the day off," she says. "Just the two of us." I grin, loving the spontaneity. "Sounds perfect," I reply. We spend the day exploring the city, visiting old haunts and discovering new places. We laugh, we talk, we rediscover each other. It's a day filled with joy, a reminder of the simple pleasures in life. As the sun sets, we find ourselves back on our balcony, a bottle of wine between us. "Here's to us," Lisa says, raising her glass. "To our journey and the future ahead." I clink my glass against hers, feeling a rush of love and gratitude. "To us," I echo. We sit there watching the stars come out, the city quieting around us. It's a perfect moment, a snapshot of our life together. We've come a long way, and there's still a long way to go, but we're ready together. The trial, the pain, the struggle, they've all led us here. To this moment, to this life, we're stronger, wiser, and more connected than ever. The future is uncertain, but it's ours to shape. And with Lisa by my side, I know we can face anything. As the night deepens, I hold her close, feeling her heartbeat against mine. We're ready for whatever comes next, ready to build a life filled with love, hope, and possibility. Together, we'll navigate the challenges ahead, one step at a time. The future is ours, and we're ready to embrace it hand in hand.